saying, hey, I want to be on the big stage someday, playing in an NBA arena, national television, chance to clinch that ticket to the NCAA tournament. This is going to be awesome here tonight.
Toledo, the higher seed in the home whites. Kent State in the road gold. How important will composure be early?
In games like this, the first couple minutes can sometimes be a little rough, a little ugly, just because the adrenaline's flowing. You want it so badly, you're so amped up. But both these teams are so experienced, and they've been here. Kent State was here a year ago. Akron is a great team year in, year out. So both these teams, very senior-heavy teams, because we have a lost shoe there to start the game. Maybe not a great omen for the Kent State Golden Flashes, but just got to play through the nerves first couple minutes, let everybody calm down, and we'll play some basketball.
Kent State throws the ball into the second row after winning the tip.
Maybe some nerves right there out of the gate on that pass. It's a little bit high.
Toledo will go with the same starting five. Neither team is very deep. They might go a couple guys into the bench. Toledo's starting five is loaded. Ray J. Dennis, the player of the year. JT Shumate, a do-everything big man. Dante Maddox, Cedric Milner, also double-figure scorers. Losing it under the basket. In amongst the trees, Raheem Moss hit the bottom of the rim, gets it back, and scores in a foul.
And maybe not quite how Todd Kowalczyk drew it up first play of the game, but Raheem Moss just staying with it. Got trapped there, thought he may be in jeopardy of a 3-second count, but did a smart thing here. Instead of trying to force it out, he said, you know what, I'm gonna just go up with it. It hit the rim, 3-second count can reset, and then goes right back up, scores, chance of a three-point play. Way to stay with the play.
Myron Thomas, the foul for Kent State, I should say. His first, he is a Ball State transfer as Raheem Moss completes the three-point play. Our officials tonight, Chad Barlow, Chris Beaver, and Bill Eck. This is Sincere Carey, Kent State's leading scorer. He is Batman to Malik Jacobs' Robin. Malik Jacobs, their second leading scorer, and the MAC Defensive Player of the Year. Jacobs scores.
And Malik Jacobs, not necessarily a great three-point shooter, more of a mid-range guy, did a great time in that job. Just taking what the defense gave, drove in the lane, good job avoiding the charge.
Myron Thomas had a huge game yesterday against Akron, a season-high 24. Long shot is up and in for Cedric Milner.
And what makes this Toledo team so dangerous is they have 4 guys in double figures, 4 guys shooting over 50% on the season. That is almost unheard of. They can beat you in so many different ways. And this is what they do better than most people give them credit for. They are a very, very good defensive team.
Dante Maddox, the interception on the pass. Long three, Maddox. Off the back iron, rebounded by Thomas. Both teams like to get up and down the court, even though Kent State scores a lot fewer points than Toledo does, as Myron Thomas, quick three's no good. Milner on the run for the Rockets. Milner averages 16 a game. Here's a three, and it's up and in for Dante Maddox.
Maybe a little bit quick, the possession before that for Maddox, but that time in rhythm, threw it inside to Milner. Little post-split action came around, and that is the one guy, especially in white, that you cannot leave open, number 21, Dante Maddox. He's going to make you pay more times than not.
Jacobs takes it to the rim. Tipped up and in by Myron Thomas.
That was one of the concerns coming into this game for Todd Kowalczyk was the backboard. Got out rebounded, by 14 last night to Ohio. Gave up 20 offensive rebounds, so certainly something to keep an eye on in this game.
Ray J. Dennis rebounded by Thomas, and it's out of bounds to Kent State. Both teams 27-6. Toledo won the regular season 16-2. Kent State was second, 15-3. Toledo has won 17 in a row since losing to Kent State at Kent, 75-63 back on January 10th. That was the last time they lost 2 months ago. But that was the only meeting between the two schools this year. Quick three. And out of bounds to Toledo.
And a lot of times there's so much familiarity when you get to the conference championship game because you normally play each other most leagues twice. But it's kind of strange. These two teams have only played once this year, and that was about 2 months ago. So a lot can change in that 2-month span. They still know each other very well, obviously, but look for some different wrinkles that each team has not seen from one another.
In that game, Toledo scored 63 points, by far the fewest points they've scored this season. They average 86 a game, second in the country. Here's Shumate. Nice move. Couldn't get the finish, and the rebound comes away to the Golden Flashes, Myron Thomas. Carey, long three. Rebound, Ray J. Dennis. Down the lane, Milner. Defended well, but a foul.
And a great bounce pass that time by Ray J. Dennis. They are a very opportunistic transition team. Will certainly get out and run when they have the opportunity to do so. But just a great bounce pass on the run, right in stride. You see the contact there on the arm by Davis. Milner going to line for 2 shots.
Cedric Milner has been on a real tear of late, shooting well over 50% from 3 over his last 6. And the free throws are such an important part of what Toledo does. They have made 2 more free throws than their opponents have attempted all season. They average about 21 free throw attempts a game.
Well, not only that, they're shooting 77% as a team.
Right.
So if you get into close games, especially in March, that is such a weapon to have. You have all the confidence in the world, and all your guys on the court can go to the free throw line and knock it down.
That 77% is top 20 in the country. So if you're putting them at the line, it's not a good thing.
It's almost an automatic 2 points every time.
Toledo to the quick start. Sincere Carey, just that 1 shot so far. Here's Jacobs. He's wide open. Sincere Carey the 3. It's good.
And Sincere Carey's going to make most of those if he has that much time. A great job by Myron Thomas. Had a chance to shoot a 3, didn't settle, drove in the lane, the dribble penetration. They do such a great job with their spacing. And if Sincere Carey gets his feet set and has that much time, he's going to knock most of them down.
Started his career at Duquesne, second year at Kent State, almost 2,000 career points as Jacobs sends it out of bounds. Sends us to a timeout.
Dribble penetration is where it starts for Kent State. Passed up the okay shot, got in the lane, kicked it out for a great shot. Carey knocking down the 3.
The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips.
What if you were a trendy apparel company facing an avalanche of demand? To ensure, what if you were a major transit system with billions of passengers taking millions of trips? What if you were a major transit system with billions of passengers taking millions of trips? What if you were a gigantic snack food maker and you had to wrestle a mass?
The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips.
What if you were a trendy apparel company facing an avalanche of demand? To ensure,
the 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips.
what if you were a global energy company with operations in Scotland, technologists? What if you were a global energy company with operations in Scotland, technologists? What if you were a major transit system with billions of passengers taking millions of trips? What if you were a global bank who wanted to supercharge your audit system? What if you were a gigantic snack food maker and you had to wrestle a mass?
When it's tournament time, we don't go big, we go bigger.
What if you were a trendy apparel company facing an avalanche of demand? To ensure, what if you were a gigantic snack food maker and you had to wrestle a mass? What if you were a trendy apparel company facing an avalanche of demand? To ensure,
The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips.
what if you were a trendy apparel company facing an avalanche of demand? To ensure,
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop, and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop, and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop, and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital.
Right now with Oral Roberts, it's also a school record. The 27 wins has tied a school record. Kowalczyk, the MAC Coach of the Year, Ray J. Dennis, the Player of the Year, and this is an offensive juggernaut.
There's no question about it. I mean, second in the country behind only Gonzaga in points per game, second in the country in three-point field goal. We mentioned the free throws earlier, 77% as a team, got 4 guys in double figures. I could go on and on. Just an unbelievable offensive team. But I mentioned it earlier, they are better defensively than people give them credit for. I mean, they have, to win 17 games in a row, I don't care what league you're playing in, that is so hard to do.
We were talking before the game, 3 in a row is tough.
Yeah, at some point you're bound to slip up, and they just have not done so.
Dennis Short on the three, Carey the long rebound. Here's Malik Jacobs, likes to attack the basket. Guarded by Milner, pulls up from 16. Long rebound tapped out to Milner. Oh, and a Kent State player is down, hurt behind the play. He's hurt behind the play, grabbing his ankle. 5-on-4 here for Toledo. Dennis the three. In and out, offensive rebound by Farmer. And that player who was down got up and ran back into the play as if nothing was wrong. I think it was Chris Payton.
Kent State very fortunate there with that 5-on-4 situation. Ray J. Dennis got a wide open look, just was unable to knock it down. Let's hope that Chris Payton is okay. Seems to be favoring that ankle pretty heavily.
And he is down underneath the basket now. Chris Payton, a transfer from Pittsburgh. I didn't see what happened, but he was in some traffic running up the court.
Oh, yeah. Yep, right there on the floor. And tell you what, having done that too many times over the course of my career, that is, the first 2 minutes of that is some of the most excruciating pain you'll ever experience. But good sign to see him jogging back towards the locker room, so maybe he'll be able to go get retaped and come back into this game.
Yeah, he ran with some purpose into the locker room, and they'll retape him up there. In the meantime, Claron Hornbeek has checked in for Kent State. Jacobs falls to the ground. Jalen Sullinger has also checked in for the Golden Flashes. And I believe it was a jump ball. No, it was a foul.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Raheem Moss on the foul here for diving on the floor. You got to love the hustle with the NCAA tournament berth on the line, needless to say. You just can't dive right on top of the back of somebody else. Kent State keeps it underneath.
Raheem Moss picks up his first foul. Another player goes down and loses his shoe. It's Myron Thomas. Sullinger in the lane, floats it up and in.
Jalen Sullinger, the sixth man of the year in the MAC this year. Great three-point shooter, instant offense off the bench. And you see it right there. Comes in, first possession, gets in the lane, scores two.
Thomas a little slow getting back on defense as he was putting his shoe back on. Kent State is the top defensive team in the league. They lead the league in field goal percentage defense as well as points allowed and three-point percentage defense. So immovable force against, or unstoppable force against an immovable object, right? As Moss easily to the rim.
And that time Hornbeek got caught on the switch, just unable to stay in front of the smaller and quicker Moss. Great job that time at the end of the shot clock too, not settling for the three, was able to get to the rim and lay it in.
Carey zigzagging through traffic. AJ Adu has checked in for Toledo. Carey pulls up and is fouled. It's on Ray J. Dennis, his first.
You mentioned it earlier, depth could be a problem for both of these teams, but especially Toledo. They only play about 6 guys. So foul trouble is certainly something to keep an eye on, but we see here Sincere Carey, yeah, just enough of the wrist there. And if you're Ray J. Dennis, just go straight up. No need to even put the decision in the hands of the officials that time. Carey, obviously a great free throw shooter. Don't want to send him to the line, get him going.
Subs in JT Shoemate along with Dante Maddox for Toledo. Shoemate, a do-it-all big man, averaging 16 points a game, also second in the league in blocks, shooting 54% from the field, 41 from three, and 87 from the line. A strong offensive force. Carey makes them both. Kent State has never led in this game. Dennis splits a double. Dennis floats it up. Pulled the string on it. Rebounded by Jacobs. Kent State running 2-on-1. Jacobs for Hornbeek, who lays it in.
What a great catch by Claron Hornbeek on the run in traffic. Had 3 guys around him. Malik Jacobs almost got caught in the air and had no choice but to drop it off. But just a great job on the catch.
Oh, what a look to Farmer, who lays it in.
And another shoe coming up for one of the Kent State players.
What is going on? That is the 3rd time a Kent State player has lost his shoe, this time Hornbeek. Carey pulls up for 3. Dennis the rebound. Dennis can shoot the three, but loves getting to the rim. He'll shoot the three. Out of bounds to Kent State.
And not the shot that Todd Kowalczyk probably wanted right there. You mentioned it. Not that Ray J. Dennis can't shoot the three, but he is at his best, getting in the lane. Great mid-range jump shooter. As we take a look, Malik Jacobs almost got caught in the air there, but just a great catch and finish. Great body control there, great hands. Kent State will look to push it on the break at any opportunity they can get.
Here's Jacobs on shoemate. Jacobs pulling his way to the rim, and he was out of bounds.
Chris Payton getting ready to check back into the game. Good sign there. Looks like that ankle is going to be okay, but a great move there by Malik Jacobs, just unable to stay in bounds. But the quickness of Malik Jacobs makes him a matchup problem offensively. As we see Kent State here looking to pick up full court a little bit, maybe change the tempo of this game, see if they can get a couple turnovers from the Rockets.
Kent State thrives on forcing turnovers. Top 20 nationally, forcing over 16 a game. Toledo, top 10 nationally, only commit about 10 a game. So that's going to be, again, two strengths meeting up with each other. Carey and Dennis pounding bodies. Dennis fade away. It's good.
He makes that look so easy. That is a really, really difficult shot falling away like that. He's almost like an untraditional post-up type of guard. Was the 15, 16, 17-foot range. Back you down. Just hit that little fadeaway over the top of you.
First two of the game for Dennis. Left right corner three is good. Von Cameron Davis, who had really struggled shooting the ball in this tournament, knocks down his first shot.
And that is a very, very welcome sign for Rob Senderoff's team. Von Cameron Davis only shooting 23% on the season coming into this game. Not a strength of his, but knocking down that first one may give him a little bit of confidence.
And 1 out of 8 in the first two games from beyond the arc. Farmer driving baseline, and he was out of bounds. Good start here, under 12 timeout, with Toledo and Kent State tied at 16.
Genius Sports is a proud partner of the Mid-American Conference and the official data collection partner of the NCAA.
A lot of offensive action so far.
And Ray J. Dennis is where it all starts for the Toledo Rockets. Little post-up, one-on-one, takes his time, see what he's got. Says, you know what, you're playing to my left, I'm going to go back to my right. Nice little touch on the fadeaway jumper. Now on the other end, again, dribble penetration, drive and kick. Von Cameron Davis, not known as a three-point shooter, but knocking down the wide-open three. Great start for the Kent State Golden Flashes.
Do you see the tempo favoring either team so far, or is it kind of a neutral?
I think it's neutral. I think it's what you would expect. Both teams like to get up and down. We mentioned it. Toledo, second in the country in points per game at almost 86 a game, but Kent State in their own right averages 76. So both teams are going to look to push and go, not going to take a lot of time on the shot clock, but pace about right where I expected it. But Toledo doing a good job here early on in the first 8 minutes of taking care of the basketball.
In fact, they have a 5-0 advantage in points off of turnovers so far. Both these teams have been crushing their competition, especially in the MAC this season. Kent State plus 11 scoring margin, Toledo plus 10. And I mean, Toledo's not just winning these 17 games in a row. They're winning by an average of 14 points a game during that stretch.
Well, that's a testament to two things. Obviously, their offensive firepower, which we talked about, but I mentioned it several times, their defense. They are a very underrated, they're just a solid, fundamental defensive team. They're not going to press a lot, not going to try to do anything too crazy. It's going to be solid fundamentally. The backboard is something they're going to have to keep an eye on in this game. We mentioned it. They got out-rebounded last night by 14, doing a good job so far here early on tonight.
Indeed, the rebounding is even up at 8 so far. Both teams, especially Toledo, struggling to shoot it a little bit. 38%, Kent State 50%. But these are the top two teams in the league, and you just get the feeling it's going to come down to the wire.
Well, Kent State with 4 fewer shot attempts than Toledo, which has made a big difference. So Toledo taking care of the basketball. Kent State loves to turn those turnovers into extra opportunities offensively. Last night forced 18 turnovers, created 31 points off of those turnovers. So that is a big part of what they do. And tonight, so far, pretty quiet in that statistical category.
Tied up at 16 as we resume play with Jalen Sullinger bringing it into the front court for Kent State. But nip and tuck throughout. Toledo got off to a strong start. Kent State has rallied. Carey going on one-on-one with Shoemate. Von Cameron Davis buries the three.
You know, confidence is an amazing, amazing thing. You mentioned it, 1 for 8 in the first 2 games, only shooting 23% on the season. Knocks down that first shot. Now all of a sudden that basket looks a lot bigger.
He's got 6 points. He averages 6.5 a game. Andre Lorenzen has checked in for Toledo. We welcome those of you who've been watching the American semis between Memphis and Tulane. We're here in Cleveland, Ohio, Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The top 2 teams in the MAC. Von Cameron Davis, another 3 is no good. It has been Toledo and Kent State going at it, and Kent State has taken its biggest lead of the game.
That time Malik Jacobs out-rebounding the Toledo team, was outnumbered down there by about 2 or 3. Somehow came up with it. Kent State here over these last couple minutes has found a momentum offensively.
Robert Lee, David Patchett, our entire crew with you from the land. As Milner pounded, throws it away and out of bounds. How did these teams get to this point? The quarterfinals were blowouts. Toledo routed Miami. Kent State beat Northern Illinois. All 4 Ohio teams in the semifinals. Toledo held off OU. Kent State beat its arch rival and the defending champion, Akron, to reach this point. These are clearly the top 2 teams in the league. Toledo has won 17 straight. Kent, 5 in a row, 9 of their last 10. And both teams have very impressive 27-6 records. They met once this season about 2 months ago. Kent State won that game. It was the last time Toledo lost. Carey missed the shot. Long rebound run down by Milner. Doesn't have numbers. Will attack anyways. And now we'll reset with Dante Maddox.
Good decision there by Milner of not forcing the issue that time, but you see Kent State has really picked up the intensity on the defensive end.
And Payton turns away Maddox there. Kent State has numbers. Jacobs, alley-oop. Oh, Mets at the rim and foul. JT Shoemate the foul, prevented the dunk.
Kent State, one of the things they do best, turning defense into offense. We see Chris Payton on the one end with a great block. On the other end, running the floor, getting rewarded for it. Malik Jacobs with a great lob pass and a good foul there by JT Shoemate. I think Chris Payton was going to throw that one down to get this crowd really going.
He had some bad intentions. The transfer from Pittsburgh missed the first free throw. Julius Rollins checks in for Kent State. First appearance for the sophomore from Chicago. 2 points a game. Payton, a senior, barely played at Pitt last year, putting up solid numbers for Kent State and makes 1 out of 2 for his first point of the game. He turned his ankle earlier in the game, went back into the locker room, got it taped up. He is back, although he goes to the bench now for Myron Thomas.
Kent State, these last couple possessions, has really turned it up on the defensive end with their hand activity, just making it really difficult for Toledo to get into any kind of set. That time just a little too aggressive there with the foul.
The 2 players to look for amongst many, but the real star power lies in the last 2 MAC players of the year.
No question. And Sincere Carey, a season ago player of the year in the MAC. Ray J. Dennis this year with the unanimous player of the year. Don't see that very often. Both these guys have been playing against each other for a long time, know each other very well. And I love the fact that they're matched up against each other on both ends of the court. Sometimes you don't see that. These guys are not afraid to go at it.
Dennis turns it over. Thomas heading in uncontested for the jam. There is a big crowd here at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Both these teams within 2 hours. Kent State only about 45 minutes away. Toledo 2 hours west on I-90. Crowd roaring for Kent State. Dennis one-on-one with Carey. Star matchup, pounding bodies. Milner the 3. Rebounded by Sullinger.
And Great job that time by Sincere Carey of holding his ground in the post against Ray J. Dennis, looking to explode the roof off of this place on this possession.
Behind the back, Myron Thomas the three. He got it. Toledo timeout. Kent State has opened up an 11-point lead.
Kent State turning their defense into office. This time Myron Thomas with the easy two. All Kent State so far.
ESPN's
The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips.
Come on in to the truck stop. Everything you need for.
When it's tournament time, we don't go big. We go bigger.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history.
The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history.
The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips. The 3 for Me only at Chili's serves up bottomless drinks, bottomless chips.
Didn't expect to see me so soon, huh?
Jay's back?
Well, I invest in a fund that fuels innovation.
The 3 for Me only at Chili's gets you a bottomless drink, bottomless chips.
When it's tournament time, we don't go big. We go bigger. When it's tournament time, we don't go big. We go bigger.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop, and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital.
The teams have been going back and forth early, but Kent State has forged ahead.
It's all started off dribble penetration, doing a great job with their spacing. This time, Sincere Carey knocking down the three, and on the other end, the one basket so far for Ray J. Dennis. A little nice turnaround jump shot. But again, off the dribble penetration, great skip pass. Vaughn Cameron Davis knocking down the three. It has been all golden flashes these last couple minutes.
Kent State fell behind early, but has forged ahead by 11. Kent State on a 14-0 run as we welcome you inside Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, the home of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Robert Lee, former Louisville Cardinal David Patchett with you. High intensity, high stakes, a one-bid league. The winner takes home all the marbles.
Well, you can certainly feel the energy in this building, and it seems like a little bit more of a pro Kent State crowd, but it has been absolutely electric in here, and Kent State has fed off of that energy, really ratcheting up their defense, going on a great run here over the last couple minutes to kind of open up this game so far midway through this first half.
Toledo comes in on a 17-game winning streak since they lost to Kent State. Very difficult shot for Milner.
Not sure you can play much better defense that time than Myron Thomas did. A ball away over an outstretched arm, but Toledo will take it in any way they can get it. But Toledo's going to have to put together a couple stops here. Kent State shooting 56% so far here in this first half.
What's at stake for these teams? A berth in the NCAA tournament. Toledo has not gone since 1980. They won the first ever MAC tournament and have never won it again. As Vaughn Cameron Davis picks up the foul 90 feet from the basket. 43 years, and the Rockets have been good. This was their third straight outright regular season title for Coach of the Year Todd Kowalczyk. They lost in the semis each of the last 2 years. They've made it to the final. They're trying to get to the promised land.
It's so hard. It is just so hard in these one-bid leagues because of the pressure. I mean, the job that Todd Kowalczyk has done since he's taken over at Toledo has been remarkable. I mean, they are at the top of the league every year. and it just comes down to 3 games in 3 straight days in March. It is just so difficult to do. He feels confident about his team. He's got a great team this year. A lot of time left in this basketball game.
Milner will trigger the 3. It's good. 9 points for Cedric Milner.
And the thing about Toledo is they're just so composed. They don't get rattled. They got down 11. They came out of the timeout, went on a little 5-0 run right there, got a couple stops. Now all of a sudden it's a 6-point game. They're right back in this.
Jacobs working his way to the rim, leaves it for Peyton, who will flush it.
And that's what the dribble penetration does with the spacing. We saw early on in this game, they were kicking it out for 3s. Naturally, the defense is going to start to get extended. So what does that do? It leaves the basket wide open, and that time Peyton able to flush it down for the easy 2.
Farmer falls to the ground. The ball is kicked to Maddox. Still 12 to shoot. Milner feeling it. Milner drives baseline, hangs in the air, and draws the foul. This is what Toledo likes to do. They love to get to the free throw line. They're one of the best 20 free throw shooting teams by percentage in the country, and they have made more free throws than their opponents have attempted this season.
It's certainly a weapon, a team that shoots 77%. It's just every time they go to the free throw line, it almost seems like it's an automatic 2, but Cedric Milner has done a great job of just not settling. We saw him knock the 3 down, but that time, late shot clock, natural tendency is to just force one up. He said, I'm going to try to get to the rim and get fouled.
Champ Week rolls on at 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific over on ESPN with the Pac-12 championship game. Big one, Arizona squares off against UCLA. It's also available on the ESPN app. These 2 teams split their meetings this season. The number 1 seed is in play.
UCLA, a team that seems to be trying to find a way to stay healthy. The job Mick Cronin has done with his team this year, unbelievable. Arizona, a team that's going to be really hard to beat, neutral site in Las Vegas. That should be a great atmosphere, especially on a Saturday night.
Milner makes 1 out of 2. He's into double figures for the 15th game in a row. He averages 16 points a game.
And we see for the first time Toledo going to their 1-2-2 full court pressure. Not so much looking to turn you over. They'll gladly take one, but looking to just slow you down, buy some time in the backcourt. That time a foul on AJ Adu.
It's his first. Not into the bonus yet. When these teams met the first time this season, it was the fewest points Toledo has scored all season. They scored 63 points. They lost by 12. They've only been under, that's the only time they've been under 69 points all season. So it's by far their fewest points of the year. They have only 22 right now. Nice hands by Dennis, who creates the steal. Farmer running the floor. Offensive foul.
Pretty easy call that time. EJ Farmer trying to be aggressive. You got to like it. Forced to steal, trying to get out in the open court. But the defense here the last couple of minutes has been the story. Great hands there by Ray J. Dennis on the slap down. And EJ Farmer, you got to, one-on-one, you got to like it, but Sincere Curry clearly there with his feet set outside the circle. That's going to be a charge 10 times out of 10.
Overall, Kent State has beaten Toledo 3 times in a row, as well as 6 of the last 8. So even though Toledo's been a dominant team, Kent State's had their number a bit as Carey has turned away at the rim. Carey, good hustle, saves it for Hornbeak. Fresh 20. Jacobs, offensive foul. Malik Jacobs, his first.
A great job that time by Dante Maddox, just moving his feet, making Malik Jacobs change direction, and back-to-back offensive fouls here. Team's getting a little out of sorts here offensively, but you see Malik Jacobs loves to go to his right-handed strong hand. That time Maddox did a great job of making him change direction, beat him to the spot. Good call by the official going down the other way.
Toledo has stemmed the tide a bit. They look to get it going back on offense. Milner has been the hot hand. He's got 10. Dennis with only 2. Milner, tough shot again. Hit the side of the backboard. Good fight by Adu for the rebound, but it comes away to Jacobs. Carey on the run. That's the ball on a string. Carey attacks the rim and missed the shot, but it's tipped in.
I think that was going to be close to an offensive goaltending there, but you see the quickness of Sincere Carey. He's got such a great handle. You said it. He's got that ball on a string. And with his first step quickness, it's just so hard to contain off the dribble. Just a really, really explosive athlete.
They gave that bucket to Carey. Milner with a nice finish. He's got 12.
Cedric Milner has been the bright spot offensively for the Rockets so far here in this first half, especially with JT Shoemate on the bench, and Todd Kowalczyk really wanted a foul there offensively on Sincere Carey. We didn't get the call. We play on.
Really letting him play here as we come up on 4 minutes left in the first half. Sullinger turned away by a dude. Milner bounce pass ahead for Maddox. Toledo 2-on-1. Milner stop and pop. Bang! Cedric Milner, 15 points. Kent State timeout.
Cedric Milner having a little bit of a heat check here the last couple minutes, doing it all offensively. For the Golden Flashes, it has certainly been the Sincere Carey show. Great job dribble penetration, getting into the lane, but on the other end, Toledo able to get back into this basketball game because of Cedric Milner doing it all.
When I first started out as a filmmaker, I didn't want to get into credit cards.
Life's kinda unpredictable. Like when your groceries arrive, the moment you remember everything. Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Life's kinda unpredictable. Like when your groceries arrive, the moment you remember everything.
Wow, let's take a closer, what the?
Her release speed deviated only point.
Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you...
Y'all ready for this? I brought the halftime show to Sam's house. I hope you at least use D.
Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Life's kinda unpredictable. Like when your groceries arrive the moment you remember everything. Life's kinda unpredictable. Like when your groceries arrive the moment you remember everything. Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you... Life's kinda unpredictable. Like when your groceries...
All right, thanks, guys. We look forward to hearing from you at halftime. Kent State up 4 on Toledo, led by as much as 11 at about the 8-minute mark. But Toledo on an 11-4 run, powered by Cedric Milner Jr. 15 points, right at his season average.
And a heat check right before that last timeout on the break there, forced that timeout by Kent State, but it has been all Cedric Milner. Ray J. Dennis, quiet first half so far, but give Kent State defense credit for that.
Jacobs spin move. Jacobs up and under. Good fight for the rebound. Jacobs has got it. Defended well again by Shoemate. Jacobs a third opportunity. Jacobs under the basket, kicks it out for Carey. 2 on the shot clock. Carey hoists it up. Does hit the rim. And it's out of bounds to Toledo. And I think they're going to change the call. It'll go over to Kent State. So good job getting the ball up on the rim by Carey.
Yeah, great recognition there that time on the shot clock, but Kent State just hitting the offensive backboard, and Toledo, we mentioned it, very fortunate in their win last night. Got out-rebounded 43-29, gave up 20 offensive rebounds to Ohio. So the backboard has been a concern. And so far here in the last couple minutes, Kent State making them pay. Fortunate for Toledo that time, unable to convert, but they do retain possession. Shot clock again, running down low.
6 on the shot clock. Myron Thomas with 3. Throws it out of bounds.
A great rotation that time by JT Shoemate. Myron Thomas had a lane to the basket. JT Shoemate stepped up, forced that turnover, but Toledo playing with fire there a little bit, giving Kent State that many looks at the rim. They're going to have to shore up the backboard. They want to have a chance to take this lead.
Turnovers have been such a big part of Kent State's success this season. In the corner, double clutch. Inside Shoemate, who has not scored. They get it to Milner. There's Raheem Moss, rejected by Chris Payton, who shakes his head.
Kent State is doing an unbelievable job on their scramble rotations. Toledo has them in a scramble defensively. The ball's moving. Great help. You see the closeout, hands high. Just all over the place defensively are the Golden Flashes.
4 to shoot. Moss will try it again and score.
And that's deflating for Kent State right there. They played about 27 seconds of great defense. Raheem Moss just making a pay at the end of the shot clock. And Toledo with all the momentum here over the last 6 or 7 minutes.
Rocket fans roaring on an 8-0 run. What a move by Carey. Las Vegas saw this as a pick'em. Neither team was favored. And you know this one's going to come down to the wire. 2 minutes to go first half.
The intensity level has really picked up the last couple minutes here in this game. And Toledo going to go to the free throw line here as Kent State now is in the bonus. But you're right, there's a reason this game, nobody knew who was going to win. I mean, number 1 team in the league, number 2 team in the league, 27-6. We see a great move here by the sincere Carey with the reverse layup on the left hand. A good idea here by Chris Payton, and I have a feeling when Rob Senderoff sees that one after the game on replay, he's not going to be very happy about that call. May have been a fortunate break there for the Rockets.
And Ray J. Dennis has a foul, so that could have been his second foul. Instead, it's the second on Payton. As Dennis, the MAC Player of the Year, averaged over 19 points a game and almost 6 assists per game to lead the league. Has only 3 points so far. Friendly bounce on both. And has 4 points now for the junior from Plainfield, Illinois, just outside of Chicago, second year after transfer from Boise State. Sullinger, corner 3. Strong rebound by Milner. Rockets on the run. Milner, stop and pop. Came up short. Carey runs down the rebound in the corner. Now Kent State's got numbers. Malik Jacobs the other way in a track meet. Jacobs lost the rebound.
Good job by Toledo those last couple of possessions of limiting Kent State to 1 shot. Curious to see here, those free throws by Ray J. Dennis on that last time down when he got fouled, if that gets him going offensively. Sometimes it helps just to see the ball go through the rim when you're struggling. Cedric Miller has been the guy with a hot hand.
See if they can get somebody else going besides Milner. Shoemate has not scored. He averages 16 a game. Moss couldn't hit the 3. Payton the rebound, final 45 seconds. Both teams have already used the timeout this half.
Toledo has a foul to give.
Carey, step back 3. Rebounded by Toledo, and a foul on Payton. It'll be his 3rd. Wrong place at the wrong time.
And the Kent State fans not happy whatsoever with that sequence right there. They thought Toledo got away with a push on the rebound. No call on the push here. Chris Payton trying to run back down the court, just wasn't paying attention, was looking at the referee and just ran right over Ray J. Dennis. So an unfortunate break there for the Kent State fans. Letting the officials know about it, but a very good call. I mean, Ray J. Dennis just got trampled there and going back to the free throw line with a chance to take the lead here with 34 seconds before the half.
Julius Rollins, who only plays about 9 minutes a game, back in for Payton, who's got 3 fouls. Dennis to the line. Ties the game. As you can see, only a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. So Kent State can virtually hold for the final shot.
Well, a couple guys on the floor for Toledo do have one foul, but Todd Kowalczyk elected to leave him on the court.
You see Ray J. Dennis's numbers this season, the MAC Player of the Year. Almost 20 a game and led the league in assists as well as assist-to-turnover ratio. Toledo takes the lead. Final 30 seconds.
Kent State loves this horns look, and
what is that?
Toledo had a foul to give. That was only their 16th foul, so. But still, I'm not sure why you do it. They were clearly going to wait till the last shot. I think the bench let them know.
A completely unnecessary foul there, even though it does not put them at the line. If they get fouled here, now they go to the line. Maddox only his first.
You see the horns look here by Kent State. They love this horns look. Come off one side, pop on the other. Bunch of different things they can do out of this, but Sincere Carey is going to keep the ball in his hands right here.
Only about a 1-second difference now. Myron Thomas the three. Well off the mark. Jacobs the rebound. 4 seconds left. Lost it out of bounds to Kent State with 3 seconds remaining.
Toledo fans obviously saw something they didn't like right there. Tough to see from our angle who that went off, but it looks like Kent State's going to keep the ball underneath. As we take a look here. Oh yeah, Malik Jacobs definitely touched that basketball. You can see why Dante Maddox so upset right there along with the Toledo fans, but nonetheless, can't review until the last 2 minutes of the basketball game, so Kent State going to keep it here. That's where that foul may come in handy right here.
Chance to take the lead going into the half. 3 for Myron Thomas, an air ball. Put back up and in! Malik Jacobs gives the Golden Flashes the lead at the half. Vegas thought it was a toss-up. It was in the first 20 minutes as Malik Jacobs, the putback of the Thomas air ball at the buzzer, gives Kent State the slightest of leads, 35-34. Score at the half, Kent State 35, Toledo 34.